Bridgerton is a series that many love and care about. We recently got season 2 of this amazing show, and fans got some of the things that they were wanting to happen. We saw some crazy things happen in this series, but what was that ending all about? Well, stay tuned to today's video, as we're going to discuss season 2 of Bridgerton's finale, and recap what happened at the end. First up we have Bridgerton season 2 finale recap. What happened? The biggest thing that happened at the end of season 2 was Kate being knocked off of her horse in a rainstorm. Fans were going crazy when this moment happened and had many questions. So this is what happened. Anthony was already chasing after her and managed to come to her rescue and made sure that she received some sort of medical attention. This took place at Lady Danbury's house, and Kate was left with a cut on her head. Anthony put pressure on the wound, and Kate was in and out of consciousness. This event really put the pressure onto Anthony and was a trigger for the issues he was already going through. He was dealing with the trauma of his father's death and went on to blame himself for Kate's accident. The main reason Kate left on her horse in the first place was because she slept with Anthony the night before and she felt guilty. She left the house and took a horse ride, which led to her injuries. Kate later woke up a few weeks later and was told that Anthony never returned to visit her. She felt awful. The news of Kate's regained consciousness made its way to the Bridgerton residence, and Lady Violet delivered the positive update to her oldest child, who in turn cried uncharacteristic tears of relief and joy. Anthony told his mother he hadn't visited Kate because he was afraid she might die, and he couldn't fathom losing her. This was when Lady Violet apologized to Anthony that he had been the one to see his father tragically die from a bee sting. But, she added, as painful as that experience had been, and as much as she missed him, given the choice, she would still choose her late husband Edmund every time, because true love is worth every high and every low. Anthony realized his love for Kate and took his ring and went to propose to her. Things went a little crazy after this point. Kate said no and admitted the only person she'd been lying to was herself. She added that by the time she realized how strong her feelings were for Anthony, it was too late. Despite her best efforts to deny said feelings, Edwina believed her, but stated that Kate's accident made her realize she didn't really know her sister or herself because they had been pretending to be women. They were not for the sake of society. A lot more happened after that, but at the end of the day, Anthony and Kate realized their love for one another and went off on their honeymoon once they were married. It was a crazy ride, but things went well in the end. Isn't this crazy? What a super insane ending for a show like this. If you want to know more about Bridgerton, stay tuned to this video, as we're going to discuss some questions fans wanted answered before season 2 released. First, how does Lady Whistledown gather information? So, first up, we have a pretty interesting question that so many fans have been wondering since season 1 ended. How exactly does Lady Whistledown gather information? All throughout the amazing season 1, we saw Whistledown looming over society and finding out some things that they really shouldn't have any business in. It's a sort of omnipotent overlooker who just seems to literally know everything about the characters we follow and those around them. She even saw romantic relationships between lovers, some scandals that involved an almost eyes wide shut style situation with ballrooms in the night and palatial gardens. We even saw her find enough about the current society of the show to judge the people in it and those who control it. For fans, season 2 of Bridgerton needs to let the audience know how exactly Lady Whistledown gets her information and how it all plays out. How does she know all of this information? Is it a network of people, or is it just something simple? Season 1 shows us little hints toward the truth, but nothing is ever concrete. With what we know about Lady Whistledown, it looks like she has multiple people working for her, or else these stories will have some huge plot holes in, which might have just been a huge misstep from the writer's room. Hopefully this all gets answered, because the fans really want it. But what about... And now, what kind of parent will the Duke be? This one is really big, and would be a disservice to the character if the writers messed this one up. Fans have been asking for season 2 to answer this huge question, but what kind of parent will the Duke be? Fans were treated in season 1 with an amazing story of the Duke being haunted by his late father. His father was really terrible, and the Duke was rejected by him at a really young age. He had impossible standards for his son and only really cared about appearances. His father was just the worst, and Simon, or the Duke, had a lot of healing to do throughout the first season. This all came to a head when he got together with his partner Daphne. Simon told himself that he would never have children, but Daphne and he decided that they should have one. The ending of season 1 left us with Simone and Daphne having a child and marveling over his existence. Now that he's a father, fans are wondering what he's going to be like. Obviously, he'll be trying his hardest to be nothing like his own father, but the show should really deal with his mindset and his struggle to be a great father. If they don't do this sort of storyline, it's a real disservice to the character, and the fans will definitely be really disappointed disappointed with the writers? What anxieties does Simon have? How is Daphne in this situation, and what narrative importance will it have? All of this needs to be answered for this to be another great story. Hopefully, the writers adhere to this and make a really great storyline. Next up we have, will Eloise Bridgerton continue her search for Whistledown? Eloise Bridgerton was one of the best characters that the fans had fallen in love with by the end of Bridgerton Season 1. They loved her storyline as she looked for Whistledown, but in Season 2, is she going to continue her search? This would be the most natural storyline continuation, because it just only makes sense for this character to be the one to carry on looking for her. Season 1 saw Eloise dig deep into her books and look for Whistledown like a moth to a flame. She was so involved with the search. She put her amazing brain to good use and tried to find out who this mysterious character truly was, whilst she was really reckless in her search, as she even made some mistakes and leapt in her own logic. She had a really huge theory that Madame Delacroix was the woman she was looking for, but Season 1 ended in this theory being debunked and Eloise being left with no real leads. She is now back at square one with no idea what to do next. It looks like she is still even more committed than ever to find out who Whistledown is, so it seems like she isn't going to stop anytime soon in her search, but that is what the writers are going with. At the end of the day, it's the writer's choice whether to carry on with this, and it only makes sense for it to happen. And finally, the fate of the now disgraced Featheringtons? The final question we have coming out of Bridgerton Season 1 and into Bridgerton Season 2 is going to be, what is the fate of the newly disgraced Featherington family? They were very heavily featured throughout Season 1 of the shows, and by the end of it, weren't in the best of situations. This once well-heeled family gets falling and falling deeper below grace until they're below the society that they once controlled. The head of the family, Lord Featherington, and his wife made some really poor decisions throughout the show, and that obviously eventually led to their downfall last season. Lord Featherington had some terrible behavior and pushed his own family to the brink of destruction by the end of the season. His eventual death has led his family in a poor state, and they don't know if they can maintain their high position in this society. The end of Season 1 was looking really glum for them until a scene appeared that may give them a new lease of life in this upcoming Season 2. The ending of Season 1 saw the next male heir of the family on his way to London to take control of what the family has left. This could go a few different ways. Will he save the family from the brink of destruction, or will he make it all worse by trying to take everything for himself? And that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video, please let us know with a comment down below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe with notifications on. Bye!
You